World Square in Sydney CBD is currently renovating their public bathrooms. However, those renovations might not solve the biggest problem, which is the cleanliness. So here we have the state of the bathrooms pre-renovation. And what you can see immediately is that while they do look a little bit old, the age of them isn't so much of a problem. After all, if we walk around a bit, we can see water and other gross things everywhere in the men's bathrooms. Now, whether the women's bathrooms are better or worse, I'm not totally clear. However, the men's bathrooms are certainly gross. And it isn't the age of things, it isn't that everything is breaking, it isn't anything along those lines. It's the fact that people who are using them seem to have no care whatsoever for their aim, for what they are doing in the bathroom, or whether they are at all clean. It makes them entirely gross. Now, the urinals themselves are not the nicest, but still, they are usable because you don't need to touch them. But if you look at the actual toilets, I don't think I would want to go anywhere near these. It looks like they need a distinct disinfectant. And it isn't really the fault of the cleaners. After all, the cleaners can only be there every so often. They can't monitor what people are doing, they can't go in there after someone has been in there, and they can't control whether someone has control over themselves. If we look at bathrooms like this, it kind of gives us an idea about whether the people using it have the ability to self-regulate. And since so many people appear to make such a massive mess, well, it gives us a bit of an idea about that. Now, part of the reason for this, of course, could be that World Square is in Sydney CBD, so is going to get a lot of foot traffic. Furthermore, there's a Coles in this part of the centre, and that also is going to get a lot of foot traffic in it. And maybe it's some of the people who are perhaps commuting to and from bars and the like. Now, of course, periodically in the bathroom, things do go out of order. Now, that's totally expected. That always happens because things are just going to break through wear and tear. As you can see when I visited the bathroom with one of the hand dryers being out of order. And I've also seen various other things go wrong in the bathroom, but again, that isn't really the fault of the centre, so much as the people who are using it, and you can't really control how careful or not people are. But nevertheless, if we look at this, we can see why World Square is renovating the bathroom. It is a little bit old, a little bit dated, is certainly in need of a refresh. But whether that solves the entire problem and the fundamental issue, well, that remains to be seen, but I'm not totally optimistic. Let me know your thoughts, though, about other gross bathrooms in Sydney that you want me to talk about.